What is up, guys? It's your boy, Rick Kakis, and today we have the ultimate guide for Destiny 2 Season of the Seraph. Everything you need to know about how this new season works, the currency, getting loot, farming efficiently, new activities, and the best seasonal upgrades to choose to help your experience. And so, let's get started. Now, first things first, let's just go over the main new activity that you're going to be spending a lot of time in, and that is the Heist Battlegrounds. So, a quick overview of this activity. First of all, you have the Seraph security system, the lasers that will kill you if they're on you for too long. You have a timer in the left corner of your screen. If it gets to 0, you instantly die. So simply use the environmental cover to avoid these lasers. Once you find a route, you can simply take that route every single time and it'll become no problem. Now, moving on from there, you're simply going to go through the rest of the activity, killing enemies as normal. There are going to be a couple of champions you need to watch out for. There's also going to be lasers you have to avoid, and also to open up the final chamber for the boss fight, you will need to go and do an activity where you grab these Seraph orbs and shoot the Hive ruins. Each Hive ruin takes about 33 of your 100 ammo, so you will need to get 2 of these orbs to shoot them down. Just make sure that as soon as it breaks, like, you stop and go to the next one. Don't waste ammo or you're gonna go and have to get a third. Now, as for the boss fight, guys, very importantly, make sure to bring a good heavy weapon, because you'll actually get a heavy ammo refill just before the boss fight. And also, don't bring a sword, because you have certain bosses like this giant Shrieker where swords are totally useless, so something like a rocket launcher or a linear fusion rifle is a great idea to burst down the boss. Now, during the boss fight, you may need to go and kill enemies that drop arc orbs to deposit in the middle and eventually lower the boss's shield so you can continue damaging him. But that's pretty much it. Now, at the end of this activity, guys, the final chest will reward 2 brand new currencies. You get Seraph key codes and resonant stems. So this is where the currency grind starts. Now, as for the Seraph key codes, you only get a very small amount, around 2021. And you'll see that there's a chest right beside that final chest, the Seraph chest, that requires 500 Seraph key codes to open. So it's incredibly inefficient to farm Heist Battlegrounds to eventually get enough key codes to unlock one of these chests. Much more Seraph key codes will drop from other activities. From completing a strike, completing a crucible match, a gambit match, you're gonna get like 280-ish. So that's definitely more efficient. But if you want the most efficient way to get Seraph key codes, to farm these Seraph chests, because these chests will drop brand new seasonal gear and weapons. Like, you absolutely want to be opening these chests as much as possible. What you want to do is simply load into a campaign mission within the Witch Queen. The second one, Investigation, is probably one of the fastest. And guys, the first 2 missions are available for free-to-play players. So you don't have to buy the Witch Queen expansion to get access to the first 2 missions. And what you can simply do is, as long as you have one other person with you, guys, you can simply save the checkpoint for the final boss fight, and then one person loads into the checkpoint. As you can see, you kill the last few enemies, go to the end, and I got 600 Seraph key codes. And then you simply leave, someone switches to the character that they have the checkpoint in, you load in on that, you do it again. You just keep firing that final part of that story mission, and you get a ridiculous amount of key codes very fast. Now, if you're solo, the best way is probably, as you can see right here, heroic public events. They're going to drop nearly as much as an entire strike. So that's a very efficient way to farm as well. Now, importantly, guys, you can only have 2,000 in your inventory. So once you get to that 2,000 cap, you need to actually go and open Seraph chests, or else you are wasting resources. So that is one of the currency loops. But the other currency here is resonant stems. So that is actually going to be for this resonance amp. Now, you're going to acquire this amp upon doing the first main quest that you get for starting this season. So if you haven't fully completed that quest, you absolutely should do that first. But what you're going to do is again acquire resonant stems for activity completions. However, they aren't going to drop from the Witch Queen campaign missions. That's very important, but stuff like strikes, Crucible, Gambit, they are going to drop from there around 2 to 3 per completion. But importantly, guys, 2 to 3 are also going to drop from Heist Battlegrounds. So if you're already like farming key codes and then going to spend them in Battlegrounds, you're going to be getting resonant stems from the battleground itself. So not really too much of a reason to go out and farm them on their own. But importantly, once you get enough of these key codes, specifically 4, you can combine them by interacting with your resonance amp in your consumables section of your inventory, and that's going to reveal a code. And this code is going to tell you the location of a hidden like Seraph loot cache. As you can see, you follow the code directions. For an example, you have this one with Luna Sanctuary Stage Backdrop. So you load into the Sanctuary location on Luna, the moon, and you simply go to the stage where Eris Morn is. Behind her, you will find this loot cache, and then that will get you IKELOS Weapons. Now guys, I have done a separate video going over all 12 of these hidden locations currently available within the game, so that's just linked up above. Absolutely check that out after this video. But some important things to know about this farming loop. So you are going to get a different location every single time until you have actually gone to all 12 of these hidden locations. And once you do, your resonance amp is actually going to lock you out and you won't be able to utilize it again. Now, this may reset with the weekly reset, but we don't exactly know. However, guys, in the time that you've gone and collected these loot caches, you're going to be getting those IKELOS weapons. You will have, hopefully unlocked all of the different IKELOS weapons, which is then going to let you, as you can see, focus them within the new seasonal vendor. So that means once you have done your 12 resonance amp locations and used 4 resonance stems for each one, you've unlocked those IKELOS weapons. When you focus them, guys, it's only going to cost 1 Umbral Engram and 4 resonant stems, so no other currency. So it's just as efficient pretty much to simply focus them at the seasonal vendor, and therefore there isn't necessarily a need to go and do this resonance amp stuff once you've done those 12 locations and unlocked all the different weapons to focus. But moving on from there, guys, let's then talk about the best seasonal upgrades path to choose. Now, importantly, to unlock upgrades, what you're going to need is exo frame modules, and you get these from completing the weekly challenges that you can find in your quest tab. So simply go in there, and 2 every single week will reward exo frame modules. And importantly, when you're unlocking these upgrades, it doesn't matter if you unlock the focusing upgrades top section or the efficiency upgrades bottom section. As you continuously unlock either one or the other, it's going to let you unlock more and more on both of these paths. So if you only upgrade focusing upgrades, it's still going to unlock new efficiency upgrades, as you unlock stuff. So you don't have to pick one of these 2 paths. Now let's talk about my recommended pathway, keeping in mind that my goal is to unlock the brand new weapon patterns as quickly as possible. So the first upgrade here, Heisted Seraphic Gear, you can get new gear, fantastic, and then I really want Heisted Deep Sight. Anything that's going to guarantee those Deep Sight resonance drops is very important, and the earlier you get it, the better. Now, moving on from there, the next 2 things I would really value are firstly, IKELOS Weapon Focusing, and then Seraphic Weapon Focusing, letting you farm particular weapons that you may want. Now, moving on from there, here are the ones I definitely value and you should unlock when they become available. So firstly, Umbral Activities. Getting more Seraphic Umbral Energy is simply going to let you focus more Seraphic weapons. And the same thing goes for this Umbral Silence, again getting you more Seraphic Umbral Energy. Now another valuable one is this Seraph Key Code Capacity. Going from 2,000 to 4,000 is obviously going to make farming more efficient, because then you can spend more time in other activities before you farm a bunch of these Seraph chests. And then after that, either Seraphic Deep Sight, which is going to again drop guaranteed Deep Sight resonance when you open chests, like absolutely fantastic, or Focusing Deep Sight. So the first time you focus each week, again, guaranteed Deep Sight. Like either one is just going to be fantastic. Some traps to avoid here, guys. Getting an additional perk, who cares, because these weapons are craftable, right? Like as soon as you get the crafted version and you can put enhanced perks on it, you will ditch that extra perk roll you have pretty much immediately. Also, I don't value armor. A lot of these have to do with getting high stat armor. There's so many ways to get high stat armor in the game. Xur is bringing high stat armor rolls every single weekend, right? I don't value it as much, especially because stuff like Artifice armor exists. Like within the brand new dungeon, the Master Mode is going to drop Artifice armor that's going to be better than this armor. So again, I, as a player, don't value this. So that's like kind of the last things I'm going to go and unlock. Anything having to do with, getting more weapon drops, getting guaranteed deep sight drops, being able to focus certain weapons to farm them more efficiently, that's what I value. And in case you're wondering, as for the bottom 3 upgrades, don't worry about those. They're simply going to make certain activities easier, and they're unlocked through quests and so on. So mainly, again, you are focusing on getting that loot. And so guys, that is really it for the main gameplay loop within Season of the Seraph. I hope you guys enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKakis, that is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.